Welcome to Steady Growth, where we build money, character, and resilience the same way. Small, steady, and on purpose. No hype, just honest steps that add up. Let's begin. Two countries, side by side. Same kind of people, same culture, neighbors on the map. In one, about 1 in 8 people signs up to be an organ donor. In the other, right next door, it's nearly everyone. Watch the bars climb on the board. A short stub on the left, 1 in 8, and a bar shooting almost to the ceiling on the right, 99 out of 100. Not a little higher, practically universal. Two countries you would struggle to tell apart, and a cliff between them you could not miss. So what built that cliff? A massive cultural difference? Years of brilliant campaigns? No. It was a checkbox. In the Low Country, the form said, check this box to become a donor. And most people doing what people do with forms checked nothing. In the High Country, the form said, check this box if you do not wish to be a donor. And most people did exactly the same thing, checked nothing. Watch the two forms sit side by side. Same paper, same pen, same shrug. And two opposite outcomes for an entire nation. Same humans, same pen hovering over the same form. The only difference was what happened when they did nothing. And nothing is what almost all of us do. That is the power of the default, the option that wins not because anyone chose it, but because almost no one did. And once you spot it on a national chart, you start seeing it everywhere closer to home, running quietly through your subscriptions, your paycheck, your phone, and your wallet. Stay with me because for the next few minutes, we are going to find the ones aimed at your money and then hand you the pen. So why do defaults hit this hard? Picture a fork in a trail. One path is smooth, paved, downhill. That is the default. The other is steep and overgrown. That is every other option. You are standing at the fork, tired, with a dozen other decisions waiting. Which way do you walk? The default is the only option that asks nothing of you. No decision, no effort, no form, no risk of choosing wrong. And we are creatures who, most of the time, do nothing. Not from laziness, but from arithmetic. Every choice spends a little energy from a limited daily supply, so the mind skips choices wherever skipping is allowed. The default is where skipping is allowed. There is a quieter force underneath, too. Whatever comes pre-selected feels recommended. Surely they said it this way for a reason, so going along feels safe, and changing it feels like a claim you would have to defend. Add plain inertia, find the setting, read the options, maybe reset a password, and you get something close to a law. Whichever option is the default becomes the most popular option, almost no matter what it is. Sit with that, because it is the hinge of this whole episode. The most popular choice in nearly any system is simply whatever happens when you do nothing. Which leaves one question worth asking. In the systems you live inside, who decided what nothing does? Let's walk your money, setting by setting, and ask exactly that. Because the answer, almost everywhere, is somebody else. Picture a settings screen with the toggles flipping on as we go. Your subscriptions. Everyone renews by default because companies learn the organ donor lesson, make continuing the nothing option, and nothing is what busy people do, sometimes for years after they stopped using the thing. Cancellation is rarely the easy path. There's a reason regulators keep going after companies for making sign up one click and cancel a maze. The friction is the strategy. And notice how it compounds. Subscription creep is just a stack of tiny nothing options. The trial you forgot to cancel, the app that bumped its price by $2, the service you used twice in March, each one too small to bother with on its own, which is precisely the point. Watch the little charges pile up on the board. 4, 5, 6 of them, none big enough to chase, all of them auto-renewing forever. Your paycheck. If your employer auto-enrolled you in the retirement plan, Wonderful. A default working for you. But check the rate, because that default is often set low. 3% is a classic. A modest starting number that quietly became your permanent setting the day you did nothing, while the match you could have earned sat on the table untouched. Watch the checkout page build, the pre-selected faster shipping, the pre-checked protection plan, the warranty slipped into the cart before you noticed, the payment screen that now opens at 25%, the recommended tier glowing in the middle, just a shade brighter than the rest. None of these are accidents, and none were chosen with your family's goals in mind. They are settings, and every setting was set by someone, usually someone whose incentives point straight at your wallet. So here is the audit. 1 hour, this week, walking the defaults you live under, asking each one a single question. Did I choose you, or did you come pre-checked? Now flip the board. Same setting screen, but this time you are holding the pen. Because once you've seen that the default always wins, the move is not just to play defense. It is to redesign the path so that doing nothing helps you. Turn off one-click buying, add friction to the road you want less traveled, and make spending the thing that takes effort. Set your retirement contribution to step up automatically a little each year, so your default is not a flat number, but a rising direction. Put a recurring reminder on every subscription's renewal date, turning a silent auto-renew into one honest yearly decision. Set the payday transfer that saves before you ever see the money. That is you declaring a new default, then letting inertia do the saving for you. It even works at home. Watch the kitchen redraw itself, the fruit bowl moving onto the counter, the cookies climbing up to the high shelf, the water jug landing front and center in the fridge, the books left within reach, and the screens you have to get up and go ask for. That is choice architecture too, the same lever the organ donor form pulled, just sized for your own house. And you are the architect. The deep lesson of that organ donor chart was never that people are sheep. It is that environments decide outcomes, and your environment is editable. Somebody will always design your defaults. The whole game is making sure that somebody is you. Now let me add one honest caveat before we close, because this idea can curdle into paranoia if we are careless. 3 honest things. First, defaults are not the enemy. A world without them would be unlivable. Imagine setting every option on every device from scratch. Many defaults are real kindnesses. The auto-enrolled retirement plan has rescued millions of futures by doing the saving for people who would otherwise never get around to it. The safe setting on a kid's tablet is the system working exactly as it should. The point is never that defaults are bad. The point is that defaults are authored. Everyone was chosen by someone, and the settings you can trust are the ones where you have at least glanced at who chose and why. Second, you cannot audit everything, and trying would burn the very decision energy you're protecting. So aim the hour where the money is: subscriptions, paycheck, insurance add-ons, checkout flows, and let the trivial defaults live. And third, a small confession on behalf of everyone who makes things, this channel included. Every creator picks defaults for you: what plays next, what is recommended, what is easiest. There is no neutral design anywhere, which is exactly why the skill we are building tonight is not suspicion, it is authorship. The quiet habit of asking, is this setting mine? And the willingness, a few times a year, to pick up the pen. So here is the whole idea to carry into the week. Somewhere between 1 in 8 and nearly everyone, that is the size of the gap a single default can open among people just like you, on a question as deep as what happens to their own body. Your subscriptions, your savings rate, your checkout screens, and your kitchen counter are running that same experiment on your family right now, every day, with results compounding in whichever direction the settings point. So spend the hour, pour a coffee, open your statements and your settings, and walk your money like a gentle auditor. Did I choose this, or did it come pre-checked? Cancel what fails the question, and re-aim what passes. Most people find a forgotten charge or two in the first 10 minutes. That alone usually pays for the hour. Then go one step further and do what the form designers do. Build defaults of your own, pointed at your family's goals, and let inertia, patient, relentless inertia, finally play for your team. The pre-checked box wins. It always wins. So stop leaving the checking to strangers. Question the default, and then, calmly, become the one who sets it. If something here was useful today, the best thing you can do is use it tonight in one small way. And if you'd like to keep growing with us, you're welcome in our tribe at familycreative.org. It's where we gather the tools and resources we build for people doing this on purpose, and where you can learn more, share what's working, and help someone a few steps behind you. That's the whole point. Small, steady, together. Be kind, try hard, do the work, build the family. We'll see you in the next one.